Hello, can anybody hear? Hey, um, crap, I already forgot what I was gonna say. Pretty much today we're doing an art stream because it's been a little bit of a bit since I've done that, and um, I'm actually mothering today, more or less. Well, not more or less. Like, I have a friend who's having trouble designing her VTuber persona, and since I usually do outfits and stuff, I suggested having some ideas. So we're gonna get started on that. Give me just a moment. Okay, here we are. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to upload the references that I got. Did I even pick out an outfit? Now that I think about it. Well, no, not an outfit, but a pose. There it is. I probably should have made the pose before I even started. Hey, Dolly. How's it going? Like, there was a friend of mine who was like, hello, I'm great. How are you doing today? I'm half and half today. And whenever I feel half and half, I create. That's sort of my coping mechanism, because that's the thing that's keeping me from doing property damage. But we're gonna have a good day regardless. There was like a friend of mine who said that he doesn't, well, actually no, they recently came out as day now. It said that they don't do sketches on stream because like nobody wants to see. That's like kind of the most boring part, but honestly to me I think that's the most interesting. Yeah, we love not dealing with property damage for sure. The fact that there's like so much shit that's worth breaking, and I have the means, even if I can't break it, I could do some damage by like, because I perfected a recipe to make paintballs, right? I perfected a recipe to make paintballs. I don't want to make the legs too long. I want to do the way. Make the head a little bit smaller. But make it a little bit long. It's interesting to me, but I'm sure it's not the most engaging on the streamers. And do you think about it on? Let's see. To me, sketching, I just like showing my process when it comes to stuff. That's why I do time lapses. And like sharing. Pretty much I like to, honestly, how do I explain it now that I have the opportunity to? I like stuff like art books and whatnot because I'm the kind of person who's really interested in the thought process whenever it comes to creating stuff. So that's why I'm the way that I am when it comes to sharing the sketch and whatnot. I also like being able to answer questions because, you know, somebody always has a question to ask about art. And I'm the kind of person who's happy to share information. So it's sort of that kind of thing. So like me showing a sketch during the stream is just an extension of like what I already do when it comes to like sharing information and stuff. So what I'm doing is copying the pose in the middle. So that's easy work for me. Yeah! What I'm doing is somewhat copying the pose that's in the middle because the person that I'm drawing has glasses. Or at least she wears them. I'm actually not quite sure if she's going to wear them with her model. Because, like, I know this person personally. But, like, my thing is... Like, I know that some people use VTubing, like, they're just playing a character. It's not a direct version of them. Or it may be a quote-unquote idealized version. But I also like incorporating some of... With me, I'm the kind of person that if it's hard for me to relate to a certain character, then it's hard for me to play that persona. To me, the best kind of quote-unquote lies or roles are the ones that you could convince yourself of. Like, pretty much the best lies are the ones with some truth sprinkled in. But then unfortunately the lies that you're the most comfortable with are like the ones that are easier to slip up. Because with that comfort you're less like, not quote unquote on edge, but like you're less vigilant. Because you've been accustomed to saying it for so long. So like it has its own trade-offs to it. Should she turn a little bit more? The hip turns a little bit more, but the torso is more to the front. Like, I'm starting to use these mannequins a lot more with my process because well, it's useful. Like, it's easier to figure out a pose that way. It's easier to figure out a pose that way. Oh, hey, Donna. I said Donna. Oh, my God. Like, I literally saw an episode of Cleveland before I jumped into stream. Hey, Donnie. How's it going? Also, shout out Donnie. I forgot to shout you out yesterday. Because I was overwhelmed with, like, joy. And also playing that damn game. Because, oh, my God, that game... What was I playing yesterday? I was playing Dave the Diver. But shout out Donnie. Yeah, it was Dave. Oh, is the thing not working? The goddamn command. Oh my God. Hold on. It was supposed to put the thing at the top though. There it is. Angry, I missed it. You're the only one I follow right now that is playing it. Honestly, I thought that more people would be playing it because it was in demo for a bit. Hold on. Because it was in demo for a bit. How I found out about the game was through Ambiguous Amphibian, who's this YouTuber that I follow. And I like his videos for Project Zomboid where he like does a random run, but he would like go on a philosophical tirade. Well, I wouldn't say a tirade because it's like an interesting monologue. And half the time he low-key be bullshitting. Like he would just quote something from, I don't know, Ernest Hemingway. As he's like going through hordes of zombies and doing a montage for it, but he also live streams, and he live streamed the demo version of Dave the Diver, so I added that to my wish list because I wanted to play the demo, but then I was just like, no, I'm gonna wait till the game is finished. But then that probably would have gotten it more publicity. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm glad that it's out. They have a lot of Christmas decorations because that's how long the game has like been out-ish. So there's that. Oh yeah, I should also open the other Bat Raspberry sketch because I forgot how to draw her ears. Cause like, okay, my friend Bat Raz, like her actual name is Zivia, but her screen name, well no, not like her real life name, but her VTuber name. So this is the same YouTuber that got you into the whale visual novel. No, the person who got me into the whale visual novel is Manly Badass Hero. He's been a YouTuber for a long time, but I've only been into him for like the past maybe year and a half. Because, damn it, where's Zivia's PNG? Okay, there it is. I'm gonna redo her PNG, but this was like a base that I had. Ears. But she wanted like some human-like bat ears. So here we are. But, Manly Badass Hero, he's mainly a horror and anime YouTuber. I started watching him recently as in the past 2 years, because his voice is very calm. Like, he has a very calm voice, and I like that because holy shit. Like, I used to like Markiplier and Corey X Kenshin, and I still like them as people. But they're loud as fuck when it comes to horror stuff, and that makes me even more scared. Like, when other people freak out, I freak out because it's like, shut the hell up. I'm trying to listen for the threat right now. Yeah, I do gravitate towards peaceful creators because it's just like, when it comes to horror in particular, I want the horror to come from the game itself or from the movie itself, not because of like secondhand scariness from other people. So like, Manly was a godsend when I found him because this dude is just so nonchalant about stuff. And he would crack deadpan jokes and stuff while playing games and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, I like this person. I'm gonna watch him. No hate towards Corey and Mark, because like, they're really kind-hearted and great people. And I'm so proud of Corey that he's able to be in the new FNAF movie that's coming out later on this year. Especially since that thing's been in development hell. But just, oh my gosh. I want to cry, but I'm gonna make the head a lot smaller. I'm gonna make both the head and the ears a lot smaller. I do not want her, like, it's given Nosferatu, but I don't want it to be like too Nosferatu. I'm so excited for the movie. Like, they got Jim Henson's Creature Shop. They're the ones who's responsible for making the animatronics, and they look really nice. To be honest, I wasn't even quite sure that they were actually going to make it so accurate to the game. I thought that they were going to translate the style to like something that you would see as an actual 80s animatronic, like the Chuck E. Cheese looking ones, but maybe less wrinkly. But they decided to go the more game accurate thing. To be honest, that's probably for the best, because you know how some people be bitching about game accuracy and stuff. Something that I hope that they don't do is like adapt book content and just stick to game content when it comes to this movie, because like, I don't like the idea of needing to do homework, or if they do put game content in there, or if they, well, I mean book content in there, that they do it in a way that you don't have to do homework ahead of time in order to understand what the hell is going on in the movie. Because I am not a big fan of needing to do homework in order for something to make sense. Like, the plot should be explained within the story itself, not through bonus content. That's why the content is bonus. Cause like, okay, when Birds of Prey came out, that was like the first time I had to deal with that. And as a Birds of Prey fan, I was kind of pissed. Cause like the fact that you make a Birds of Prey movie and it's about Harley Quinn, and even though Harley Quinn has been a Birds of Prey member, it's just the fact that she wasn't originally there, and then you make it mostly about her getting over the Joker and stuff. And then the other issue being how some of the other characters, like Huntress and Black Canary, and especially Cassandra Cain, like, I'm a huge comic book fan, and I really like DC, and it's kind of sad to see what Warner Bros. Continuously does to the DC EU. Like, I think that the DC EU is just dead, and people need to stop making a multiverse, or if you're going to do it, start over. Like, I feel like the best route that they could take is maybe take a leap of faith and start funding the animated films. Because, like, even though those animated films are straight to DVD, they tend to have good reception. So, like, give more budget to the animated films and then release those in theaters. Because they would be way above the curve compared to Marvel. They would be way above the curve compared to Marvel, simply because, like, Marvel, aside from the Spider-Verse films, isn't really releasing any animated movies. Like, the Spider-Verse films, like the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, they're a Sony property, but it's also a Marvel property because they got joint custody of Spider-Man. So, like, DC would be the only company that's releasing mature animated films. But that's just my take on it. As for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, like, I'm just so excited because, like, they got, I can't fucking remember his name. I keep forgetting his name. The guy who played as Shaggy in the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. The grown-up live-action Scooby-Doo movies, specifically. Like, he's played as William Afton, and then they got, Ethan Hutcherson, you know, the guy who played as that brunette kid in Bridge to Terabithia, but a little bit more importantly, Peter Malark in the Hunger Games. He's in there. And I'm like, that's nice. So I'm just very excited to see how things are gonna go. And I know that James and Chelsea from Dead Meat are going to have a field day. For those who don't know what Dead Meat is a podcast which is pretty much about going behind the scenes with horror films. And they have this segment called The Kill Count, which is this YouTube series where they would go over the kills within the movie while also going behind the scenes and explaining some of the production happenings and stuff. So I'm excited to see the kill count video and like find out all of the little production secrets and stuff. Because the reason why I say that James and Chelsea, because like they're a married couple who's in charge of the operations for that, because they have a pretty big team. It's about 10 people for the whole thing, but like James and Chelsea are the face of it, and they're the ones who do a lot of the editing and stuff themselves. But But I said that they're gonna have a field day because usually whenever they do like a mascot horror type thing, they typically have fun with it. Because when they did the Banana Splits horror movie, they had fun with that. When it came to that one mascot horror thing that Nicolas Cage was in, where it was like a rip-off of Five Nights at Freddy's, they did that and had fun with it. Plus, it's a campy horror movie. Like, let's be honest, Five Nights at Freddy's is very camp. Like, even though it has dark subject matter, like any horror film, the fact that you're getting jumped by children's mascots and stuff is just like, yeah, that's pretty camp. And then with the little memes that they have, like Mr. Hippo doing a whole monologue after he kills you. And the monologue lasts for like 5 minutes in the Ultimate Custom Night for, what was it, the Pizzeria Simulator? So that's something. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. But something that I said earlier, or at least when I posted that I was streaming today and stuff, you know how people do like the pre-stream post in order to let people know, hey guys, I'm doing the thing, please come over and watch. I was pretty much saying how I'm drawing, and I'm also going to talk shit about US infrastructure, because there is something that has been bothering me. And I recently got a revelation of it, or at least a re-revelation, because I was kind of always aware of this thing, but after experiencing some life stuff that pissed me off, it just became more apparent. So I'm gonna bitch about mainly when it comes to public transportation and stuff. So like, I don't have a car. And that's been a sore spot for me for a bit, because I should have brought the arm closer. I should have brought the arm closer. And that has always been a sore spot for me growing up. Hell, it's still a sore spot for me now, because we have car dependent infrastructure. Nah, I can't do that. That's better. Actually, no. Is that better? That'll be fine-ish. No. Maybe bring the arm a bit more forward. No. And then turn it a little bit more. It's fine. Is it fine? It's fine-ish. It'll be fine. So, and this is like becoming even more apparent. Like, okay, when I went to high school, not when I went to high school, when I went to college, you know how people are always talking about how college is one of the best years of their life, and you could sort of see that. Like, college debt aside, the infrastructure when it comes to colleges, everything is close by. You can either walk there, or you could catch the bus. Or if you're like in more urbanized areas, like say New York or San Francisco, you could catch the subway. Or at least you could catch the subway in New York. I don't know if there's a subway system for San Francisco. There should. That would make sense. And then, like, because you're a college student, most colleges have contracts with public transportation in order to make stuff like bus fare and train fare free. So, like, it's easy to get everywhere. And because of like, colleges are one of the few areas that have mixed zoning. And mixed zoning, that means that commercial and residential areas. So, like, you could live across the street from the corner store versus having to drive a couple of blocks down in order to get to the corner store. Because, like, living spaces and commercial spaces are easily accessible, right? And when I was out of state and stuff going to college, I had this experience. I could just walk down the street to the shawarma place during COVID. Because, like, the dining court was kind of ass during COVID. Which is sad because it was the bomb before COVID. Because, like, we had, like, 5 different dining halls. And each of them had a different food theme. And stuff, but it was like due to food shortages brought by COVID and stuff, because like farmers weren't able to work as much and meet those demands. We sort of had to go outside of school in order to eat stuff, and the school partnered with local businesses and whatnot. But yeah, the folks at the shawarma place, they knew me on a first name basis. They were asking me about my finals and shit, and it was like for $8 you could get this big ass shawarma bowl with as many toppings as you wanted, and I stayed taking the cucumber because, like, cucumber with tahini sauce and basmati rice, that's like peak alongside the other stuff that I had. But then being back home, like, I live in the South, and Southern infrastructure in general is kind of ass. Like, infrastructure in the U.S. in general is kind of ass, but, like, it's, like, in the South, it's even worse, because, like, it's not, unless it's, like, Texas, or Atlanta, or Louisiana, commerce is, like, eh. Commerce is eh. It isn't the best. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it is, even out of a fragment of pride for where I live. But just no ma'am. And what was worse was that the mayor of the city that's like 15 minutes away from me, he ended up closing the bus route during COVID because a lot of people were quitting, or they had to take off and stuff. And, like, I rode the express route, since my town, which is close by, is about, yeah, it's about 15 minutes away. It's a bit smaller, though. So we have an express route instead of a regular route to the city. But that express route was closed. Because it's just like, oh, we don't have enough drivers and stuff. And it's just like, maybe if you actually paid these damn drivers. Because I've heard stories about bus drivers getting jumped because they had to tell a damn passenger to wear a mask. And the person got an attitude. So they ended up quitting. And then the other thing was just like pay stuff in general and being overscheduled when they could have just hired more personnel and paid people their wages and stuff. This is why I'm so adamant about a general strike happening. Like, one time, Melty, there's this other VTuber named Melty Moon, and he's like a pink-haired catboy VTuber. And he does these segments called Melty's Room. One time he had a Twitter space because he didn't want to stream that day. And I got to be on there and we were just talking shit that day. And I was talking about how I wanted a general strike. Like, because you know how the Writers Guild strike and the Screen Actors Guild strikes are going on. And for some dumbass reason, the Animators Guild isn't going on strike. Like, I've been seeing pictures from the Animators Guild Twitter page, right? And they've been talking a lot about, oh, we're in solidarity with the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild, and they've been posting pictures of themselves with like different members of the Animators Guild showing up to the protest in solidarity. But it's just like, why don't you have additional solidarity and go on strike with them? Because if anybody's been following industry stuff like I do, because like I wanted to be an animator, now I'm just doing illustration and some graphic design, because like animation as a major, I thought it was my passion. I like animation as a subject, but not to do as a job, because I do not like 3D modeling. I do not see myself doing that permanently. But if you follow industry bullshit or just industry stuff, because I follow both the good and the bad, I don't just dwell on the negative because that's unhealthy and unproductive. But knowing stuff like the comics broke me hashtag, because like apparently a famous comic staff member like died of sickness from being overworked. So as a tribute to that person, everybody and their mom was venting about their negative experiences doing comics. And then if you follow some of the news concerning Across the Spider-Verse, apparently part of the reason why there were so many delays, why did I mislabel as arm instead of leg? There were so many delays because about 100 artists ended up leaving. And it's just like animators be the main ones, or like folks who work in animated adjacent, because even though it's called the Animation Guild, it's not just animators who are a part of it, it's pretty much anybody who's a part of the industry. So like if you're a storyboard artist, you're a part of the Animators Guild. If you're a colorist, which are the people who do the maps, like who do the color testing and stuff in order to test out the lighting and composition and whatnot before they actually commit to drawing out a scene, you're a part of the Animators Guild. They be the main ones to complain about conditions, and they should, because the conditions are garbage. But it's just like all of the complaint without action backing up, it's whining. And it's like, when are you gonna fight for yours? You know, there's this one issue that I have with a lot of artists in general, is like the lack of self-preservation or lack of self-care. Like a lot of artists, we do not respect ourselves, because we're just like, as long as I'm able to create, then whatever I endure, it's fine. And that's for a lot of reasons. We deal with an issue of art not being valued, because everybody wants to be entertained, or everybody wants something pretty in their house, but they don't value the people who actually have to make that happen. We deal with the starving artist stereotype, how you have to suffer in order for your work to have some sort of meaning or whatever. And that sort of leads to this culture of self-deprecation and whatnot for the sake of creating. And I wish that more people would grow out of that, because it's not sustainable. Like, how many studies have to be made that people who are like well-fed and don't have to worry about when rent is gonna come, because they don't have to deal with rent because they're being paid well, and those who have plenty of time to rest and stuff work a lot better than those who are like overworked and starving and stuff. So it's just like, I really hope that the Animation Guild, or like animators in general, like there's this phrase in Drag Race, because I also watch Drag Race, like, step your pussy up, girl. Respect yourself. Because I'm tired of like hearing my cat attacks me when I show up to the house because I haven't been home from the studio in several days due to like working overtime. And I don't even get paid overtime benefits, because the Fair Labor Standards Act of the 1930s explicitly excludes creative workers from overtime benefits. And there hasn't been any amendments since. Like, oh my gosh. It is a mess out here. But what I was talking about when it comes to infrastructure and stuff, I really hate American transportation infrastructure because the dependency on cars has done nothing but make me feel isolated. Like, both the dependency on cars and the lack of mixed infrastructure. Because, like, I had to go back home due to familial issues, right? And that's part of the reason why I've been able to stream. Like, one is summer, but also because, like, I was taking classes online and stuff, and I was taking classes online. I'm trying to think. I was taking classes online and I was working part-time. So that allowed me time to stream, and I value the time needed to stream. But, like, aside from that, there really isn't much where I am. And it's becoming more and more apparent that I really do not have friends at home. I have friends in my home state, but not in my home city, because everybody's moved or they're still, like, in university and stuff. So everybody and their mom is hours away, and I don't have a car. So, like, not having any friends, not having any people your age close by. Plus, this head is too damn big. She looks like a goblin. Rest in peace. Like, no ma'am. This is unacceptable. I'm sorry. This is unacceptable. Shout out Lemon Grab. Yeah, shout out Lemon Grab, honestly. Like, that dude was a hater. And he did a lot more damage than he, like, solved until, like, his third iteration. I'm also going to cover this with clothes, so it's not going to be too bad. Like, okay. Y'all won't believe this. Well, no, you could probably believe this. Like, I feel like a lot of people go through, like, I want to draw lewd stage at some point. Whether it's because they genuinely want to draw lewds, or because, either because they genuinely want to draw lewds, or they think that drawing lewds would, like, get them more money. Because, like, lewds does pay the bills. Well, they do pay the bill. Well, they can pay the bills. It really depends. Because folks don't want to pay anybody. It's not delivery. It's the struggle. But, especially when folks are talking about, like, lewds when it comes to furry communities and stuff. But, like, that's because furries in general are more likely to pay. Like, furries are probably one of the best clients. One of the types of best clients that you'll have. Because, like, one, because, like, somebody who is willing to learn how to code rockets and cure diseases and shit just so they could be able to pay for their hobby. And this is a reference to that one furry who became, like, a NASA staff member, and the other furry, like, the inventor of the Pfizer, well, no, not the Pfizer vaccine, but the Moderna vaccine for COVID. They're both furries. Both of them are furries. Like, somebody who is willing to do all of that shit just so they could be able to pay for their hobby, they tend to be, like, very patient and whatnot. But at the same time, it's just like, don't assume that just because you could draw titty that you'll succeed. Because, like, any other skill, and, like, not even just with skill, but, like, with any other thing that you're trying to market or whatever, that still requires some innovation and some marketing and community building and whatnot. But, But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. But how did I get to that? Oh yeah, I've thought of drawing lewds and like getting commissions to draw lewds, but then I realized that like drawing lewds, it's not that drawing lewds is hard, because I already knew that, because like I'm used to drawing clothes, but it's just like the amount of mental patience that it takes for me to draw nudity, because like because even though you think that you're not doing a lot of details when it comes to skin, you kind of are, especially if you're like drawing different body types besides like big titty anime girl number 37. Like if you're drawing fat, that's something. If you're drawing wrinkles or stretch marks or even muscles, like the way that you gotta sort of shade in order to keep it from looking too flat, because like I have more of a cell shaded style. But then whenever I do draw lewds, because I've drawn like 5, and no, I'm not sharing them in here. You're just gonna have to find. It's easy to find. I got an NSFW alt. Read the description before you go in there, because I'm so tired. Like you say, have your age in bio, and people take that as a suggestion and not a rule. Like I need people to follow directions, but the intricacies of drawing the human body is not something that I want to struggle to do every time I do a commission. And then the other reason why I don't want to draw lewds as like a commission, I rather just do it on my own whenever I feel like it, is because I don't want to get into a client's head like that. Because I'm like, do I want to know how somebody gets down or how they aspire to get down that way? I don't know. That's just my personal mentality when it comes to like commissions. Like, it's definitely not personal. They're just paying you to draw ass. But at the same time, it's just like, even if I put content restrictions of like what I will and won't draw, I'm like, do I want to think about this person's obsession with this character in that way? I don't want to deal with that. I'm okay. I'll deal with it. I'd rather be that lewd person that never opens commissions, but they have a tip jar. It's just like, if you like what you see, then just pay me to keep going. And that's fine. But yeah, when it comes to public transport, I'm realizing, or at least I'm grimly reminded that I am stuck in a sort of, not a cycle, but like a pit of loneliness. Like, I have friends on the internet, and I have friends, like real life friends that I meet with, but they're all an hour away. And even though I could take myself out, that costs a lot of money due to like Lyft and Uber being high as hell. And there's no fucking bus route. So it's just like, what do you do when you deal with that? And at the moment, I'm just in the point where I'm in my anger phase. Because like whenever I get upset, when anybody gets upset, they have phases. Like nobody has like a one and done sort of thing. It's like a process. Because healing from an initial hurt is a process, right? But it's like all of my stages of hurt is usually some form of an anger phase, and that's been going on ever since I graduated from college. Because well, no, not graduated from college. I'm still not graduated from college because I changed my major. We hate 3D modeling in this house, I swear to God. But like, oh my God. And then it's just like, now it's becoming more apparent that I might have to learn Blender. But you know what? I would rather learn Blender on my own than have that be required as like a school thing or do that as a job. Because oh my God, no ma'am, I'm not doing that. I love myself too much, even when I have moments of self-doubt and even self-loathing due to my own experiences and stuff. I love myself too much to not do 3D modeling as a job, because I know that I'll set the studio on fire. I swear to God. Like, when I say that I have to stop myself from doing property damage, I mean it. I mean it. But that sort of loneliness that manifests and makes you very upset with your circumstances because of how because life goes on and life happens in certain ways that you don't aspire it to, because it is simply something that is and not something that necessarily can be controlled. It's very upsetting and it makes me angry because I've been dealing with this shit for most of my life. Because my mom doesn't know how to drive, and I don't know how to drive, and even if we did know how to drive, we don't have enough money to have a car. And this is why I shit on American infrastructure, because like the fact that car companies chose to lobby against public transportation and mixed zoning just so they could force people to buy cars. Which is kind of stupid, because like, okay, imagine if car companies, instead of doing that fuck shit in order to give everybody and their mom a hard time just so they can stay relevant, imagine if they could have just switched industries. Like, you could have stayed in transportation, but instead of making cars, you could have been making train cars for the subway. Like, imagine if we had a Ford subway instead of just a bunch of Ford trucks with BBLs that take up parking spaces. Like, imagine how helpful that would have been instead of frustrating. Because honestly, fuck the, like, you know those trucks that have a really wide trunk in the back, to the point where in order to give it extra support in the back, they have like bumps on the sides of the wheels in the back. And I'm like, why the fuck do we have trucks with BBLs? Like, why? Who asked for this? And so it's just like, well, some people need a work truck. And I'm like, bitch, you work in accounting. What are you hauling that you need a truck that like that? And then I've seen TikToks where there was like this one lady who was like 5'4" and she had to get a fucking trampoline just to get into the truck. Like, bitch, if you know that you can't get in there, not to bitch, how are you gonna get out? Cause like, she left the trampoline outside of the truck. So what, does she have another one in there? And that's kind of wasteful when you think about it, cause you could have just. But then at the same time, she can't even reach down and get the other trampoline. There's so many things that goes into this, and it's like weird. And I know she can't see on the road, because if you're too short to even get into the damn thing that you need a trampoline, there's so many things wrong with this. Like, I want trains, damn it. I want trains. I want pedestrian friendly infrastructure, because like, you know how there's those communities that deal with like public transport and stuff, they're like, we need walkable cities. But it's just like, walkable city doesn't necessarily mean accessible. And you know, this month is Disability Pride Month, so I'm also highlighting that. Because like, even though I'm not that kind of disabled, I have asthma and allergies, and I wear glasses, and I got eczema, and I got PCO. I got a fucking list. But some people have mobility issues. And then you don't even have to be disabled to have necessarily a mobility issue, because like, small children, they can't walk yet. They're still learning motor functions. They're still learning motor functions and stuff, so it's not delivery, it's the struggle. But I like how I said that I'm drawing outfits, right? And then I've spent how much time on this mannequin? Almost an hour. It really do be like that though. It takes me about an hour to draw a body, depending on the situation. Sometimes it takes longer than that. We're gonna get to the outfit part in a moment though, because I'm almost done with this body. I just gotta fix the face. Cause oh my god, I'm so sorry, Zivia. it's not delivery, it's the struggle. But no, just because it's walkable doesn't necessarily mean that it's accessible, because not all pedestrians can walk. So that's just something else to consider whenever you're doing like city design. Like, accessibility is important. Not to mention, like, I don't understand why business owners will go out of their way to inconvenient. Well, no, I do understand because of like capitalism and how a lot of capitalism is like rooted in being as like it's like being very apathetic towards other people. Because as long as you could get a bag, then it's fine. It doesn't really matter the consequences or whatever, which is unfortunate. But just the amount of maliciousness that sort of goes into that system, to the point where a city, which is something that everybody and their mom has to use, whether to go to work or go to the store or whatever, is very inefficient. And then how that contributes to loneliness, like what I was talking about, how not having transportation makes it hard to reach people. And then even with the folks who do have transportation, how you try to meet in the middle, like, oh, I'll pay for the outing, or I'll pay for gas money. And then we have that sort of rugged individualism where it's just like, why do I have to go out of my way just to hang out? And it's just like, well, I'm trying to meet you in the middle. Even though I can't do it physically due to lack of a car, I could like pay for something. And that's seen as a problem. And then also just the fact that, like, you know how people complain about kids being terminally online, or just people in general being terminally online, but then, like, you gotta realize, like, even though being terminally online is ass, right? Because, like, you got folks who do not know how to act and talk to people. And it's so ugly. Like, there's this issue with VTubing, especially how somebody would like go up into somebody's stream and then talk to somebody crazy because, well, you're drawn a certain way, or I'm attracted to this. And it's just like, bitch, you would not say this in a Walmart, because you would either get slapped in the face with a box of crackers, or you would get shot like that one dude that the baby keeps talking about. I really do not care for the baby. I'm gonna give her sharp nails. Maybe the coffin-shaped nails, sorta. I'm not quite sure if I could really show that in this perspective, though. But, like, the internet, it's like when Mike Tyson said how the internet has gotten people too comfortable with being out of pocket without being slapped in the face, or without being punched in the face, or without getting their ass beat. I can't remember the exact quote, but like, it resonated with me. But no, like, the reason why the terminal onlineness happens is because everything's so damn high, and it's difficult to get to. Like, in my town, for example, at the mall, there's a fucking curfew. Like, as soon as it's 5 o'clock, that's when the stores start closing. Usually the stores don't close until 7. And that could be partially a COVID thing, like, of stores being short-staffed and stuff. But, like, something that really gets on my nerves is that, okay, if you're short-staffed, then why are you functioning at full capacity? And why aren't you hiring people? Because that's something that could be fixed so easily. Just either Stop functioning at full capacity when you don't have a full capacity of employees. And two, fucking raise wages and hire people. Because they always want to talk about a damn worker shortage. There is no worker shortage. People are just less willing to work in shitty situations. Like, you know that one meme, I bring I quit energy that bosses don't like? And then it was so funny that meme resurfaced again because of Hobie's popularity and Across the Spider-Verse, because that's exactly the kind of person he is. Like, Hobie isn't just any kind of worker. He's a fucking Popeyes employee who will straight up clock in and leave and then clock out when his shift is over. And I love Hobie for it, because he should be like that. I should make these eyebrows a bit more curvy. And also draw the mouth a little bit better, because what the hell is that? That's too wide. It's a little bit too wide. Give her some lips. We do not believe in the stateless style in this house. Pretty much the concept, she wanted her skin gray, but like a little bit more on the brown side, like to have some warmth in it, because she wanted a sort of Marceline type thing where she's gray. So I'm keeping that in mind. So now we can actually get started on, actually no, let me add a hairline. With that, we can actually get started on the thing. Like, as soon as we add a hairline to it, then we can get started. But what was I thinking about again? No, either everything is too damn high, or it's not accessible to get through because everybody and their mom is closing early because they don't want to hire people. I love this song so much. I love Michigan. But yeah, what was I thinking about again? Oh yeah, how the shitty infrastructure encourages loneliness, because people are literally physically apart and there isn't a lot of community available things. Even though I take myself out, like, that takes a lot of money because I have to pay for like a Uber or a Lyft to go out, and there isn't a lot of fun stuff close to me. And then also dealing with people who treat your lack of transportation as an inconvenience to them, when it's just like, oh, imagine having some place that you actually have to go and you have to depend on other people who could be sometimes late to get there. Like you think that my lack of transportation is ass. You could actually try going through it. But yeah. But on a lighter note, like on a way lighter note, we could actually start on this damn outfit now. But no, I really wanted to bring that into perspective, because there are some things that aren't necessarily taken for granted, but aren't kind of considered because of how normalized certain things are. And I want to try to highlight that a bit more this month, since it is Disability Pride Month. Because, like, disability is one of those things that are, that really aren't paid much attention to. And even though I don't suffer from the lack of transportation due to a disability. I still consider it because I know that not having accessible anything is ass. It's ass for everybody. Cause like, okay, say that you do have a car and you have someplace to go. If the car breaks down, what do you have? There we go. But so let's see. I wrote a description because I'm going to make Zivia 3 outfits. And I know I wrote it down in my notes somewhere. Fashion sketches. Okay. So outfit 1 has a leather bustier, a white blouse, cross earrings, split bell bottoms, combat boots with lace. So another thing that I would like y'all to know about my process is that make mood boards. When you're designing a character, make mood boards. That makes things a lot easier. Now me, I download individual pictures for individual pictures so I can what's the word? So I can upload it into the reference thing. So like that's why I have Pinterest and stuff for. I don't know what hairstyle I'm gonna use for this. Maybe this one. It's simple enough. And then I need to download a picture of flared pants, like bell bottom pants, and then it'll be fine. But for Zivia, her lore is that she's a moon goddess that got bit by a mutant bat. And if it wasn't a mutant bat, it was like a see, bell bottom. I need split bell bottom because I want to be able to show off the I want to be able to show off the boots. So give me just a moment, and then I gotta convert it to JPEG because for some reason Clip Studio Paint doesn't show a WEBP picture. I don't know why. I don't know why that's such a problem. Do what? Okay. I don't know why that's a problem, but apparently they don't. So I just use the PNG converter or the JPEG converter or whatever and just call it a day. But then I'll keep this tab open. So let's see. Outfit 1. What's I gonna need? Start with pants, since I have the pants so heavy on my mind. Maybe high-waisted? Hold on. Zivia is actually contacting me right now. I'm checking. She wants a different pair of ears. I'm gonna go ahead and draw these pants. She wants the ears changed. Probably. I'm gonna cry. Let's see. This is a picture of a random person that I saw on Pinterest. I really like Pinterest. Yes, and it's like it's a half and half experience. Cause like, okay, I'm gonna make these a little bit high waisted. Okay, I'm changing the ears. Start with this again. So let's turn off the skin. And I'm changing these ears first. Because, no. Okay. I'm glad that they were changed before we continue with the outfit. Because I low-key would have been mad as hell. But, let's see. But no, her thing is that she's, what's the word? She is a moon goddess who got bit by a radioactive bat. Not a radioactive belt. And I have to map the ears a certain way. Give me just a moment. Let me download the reference and actually have this in the thing. That helps. Because then I'll actually be able to flip it. I don't know who made this though. So whenever I usually do anthro ears, I typically don't do them on the top of the head. I do them on the side. Ooh, that's big. It's really big. Like, I can't remember the name of this one furry artist. But like they do it where they like try to, instead of like the typical kimono mimi style, they sort of attach it where a regular ear would be, but just make it really big. Of course, I gotta see how this works for a bat ear. This does not look right. Or maybe I may have to bite the bullet and do the ear on top kind of thing. Nah, I can make it work. As long as I have it mapped out, it'll be fine. And then looking at the inside of the ear. Nah, I might have to bite the bullet. I might have to bite the bullet. It's too straight. Me during Pride Month. It's too straight. Hey Ocean. I'm not calling you Dream, because that just makes me think of the other one. How's it going? I'm drawing bat ears and struggling. Sweet Jesus. I need to bring them higher. Honestly, that's the problem. I don't like doing the kimono Mimi ears on top. Like, I don't do that. Like, I make them look like a mix of human and animal ears because the character is a mix of human and animal. But now I have to get out of my comfort zone. It's not delivery, it's the struggle. Aside from drawing these ears, I'm okay. I've been dealing with a lot of self-reflective moments, which led to me bitching about American transportation infrastructure, like literally, what, 7 minutes ago? So that was the thing. Sorry, I was taking a screenshot. Because I'm sending this to Sylvia for feedback. Right now, I am drawing a mannequin and outfit sketches for my friend. Because despite being a Taurus, she is indecisive as fuck when it comes to picking out an outfit for her persona. So I pretty much asked her to like give me a basic description of the style and stuff, and she tends to like the outfits that I design. Cause like we're working on a project together. So I'm pretty much working on that. And then she just contacted me and said that she wanted to change the ears. And because we are still in the sketching phase, that is fine. When I say indecisive as a zodiac sign, you know that's for Libras, right? Because which is very strange because I'm a Libra and usually I know what the hell that I want. It's just a matter of asking for it. I don't like asking for things sometimes. I know, it's something about having a need and like a history of you having a need being treated as a problem. It makes me hard to ask for things. I usually tend to take care of things by myself as a result. I'm gonna fix these ears again. Okay. So now I have a clear direction. So I do have to make it more ear-like. That's different. No, it's fine. Go to where you need to go and have a good day. Like pretty much I'm mainly in the okay. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. I'm mainly in the so you're not really missing that much. Let's see. So I'm mainly just trying to figure things out. I do love Cephidae though, cause whenever we work on a project together, how did we meet? We met through the video game thing. For those who came to stream that one time when I was explaining the origin of like a comic project that I'm working on, it was the Black People fighting game that ended up getting canceled because like people's lives changed and we really weren't going forward because of how many people's lives have changed and had to cancel the thing. But and then I'm also going to do a screenshot again because I need feedback. I need feedback from her, please. But what was the thing? We ended up getting paired together because the person who was in charge was just like, oh, you two would get along well because y'all have similar ideas when it comes to similar concepts and stuff. And that's how we ended up talking to each other. Olivia is a really good friend. Because she's interesting to talk to, which led to us making our own comic idea about like the about the scientist who augmented himself into serial killer fashion designer. Okay, she likes these ears. We could proceed. But when it comes to monster design, though, that's where we butt heads a little bit. Because, like, I'm like, oh, if this person transforms into a monster, for example, and the monster has hair, I want body hair as, like, a hint. To show that, like, you can never really hide your form. There's, like, hints of the form showing. And then Zivia is like, body hair is gross. And I'm like, okay, I didn't ask if you think it was gross. I was asking if you think that it would be effective at giving visual information. And that's when we start going off on each other. But literally, most things else... Because, like, okay, we have two different writing styles. Me, I'm a little bit more detailed oriented because of my background with like doing world building and stuff. So like I care a lot about infrastructure and whatnot. Zivia is a lot more... Hold on. And then the kind of details that Zivia sort of thinks of it's more like when it comes to personal connections. So like when it comes to writing stuff like so when it comes to like not just writing relationships, but also motivation that deals with more personal stakes. I'm more of a logistics person. So like I'm like, oh, if we have a earth-shattering event, what like infrastructural things do we have to deal with or whatever. Like Zivia is a lot better at looking at smaller scale stuff that isn't always considered. Like okay, if we were to talk about like war, for example, I would talk about like the strategies and stuff, some of the environmental conditions. She's more oriented when it comes to like the impact that it would have on family members back home. Shit. I moved it before I copied it. So merge selected layers. And we sort of end up filling each other's gaps that way. That's better. And then there's always this joke between us that we both shared a brain cell because of how sometimes we share the same idea, and even if it's not the same idea, it's like an adjacent one. Like that whole thing with love is an open door, and it's just like how we finish each other's sandwiches. We do that. So let's see. These are pleated pants. I should probably draw the closure first, just so I know where everything is. Okay, so now we're actually going to actually draw the outfit. Pretty much the style that that Zivia tends to gravitate towards is like a semi-masculine sort of thing. And then of course, because she's like a bat or part bat, she's a moon goddess that got bit by a radioactive or a mutant mat. Like I said radioactive because I'm like, make a Spider-Verse joke. Be a nerd. But I don't know if she's stuck with it or not. I gotta ask again. Me. When I'm like, I'm gonna share the concept of this thing and then I can't even remember everything. I'm thinking of a lot of things right now. I'm doing my thing. But so let's see, how much do I want these pants to flare? Start at the knee. Yeah, I should probably start at the knee. I crap. Well, yeah, I gotta start at the knee. Shit. Okay. This works, maybe. This works. But, she gravitates more towards like a semi-masculine style, so like pants. Although, she did say that she would wear a dress, she just doesn't like skirts. I'm like, just put some shorts on under her. But she's like, nah. And that's fair. Like, okay, I'm a skirt and dress person as long as I got on shorts under it, because I grew up fighting. Like, my whole issue with skirts and dresses is that there's a vulnerability to wearing them. So I wear shorts under them because I grew up fighting. And the last thing that I want to experience is a fucking wardrobe malfunction. Hate that shit. When you're just trying to look nice and then some bitch pull up. And then now you gotta worry about looking a hot mess. Did I forget to do a damn time lapse? Oh, it is recording. It's fine. It's fine. Because that's what happened to me last time I streamed. Like, okay, when I drew Blake Belladonna, I was mad as hell. Because I found out that I forgot to do a time lapse of her. So I had to extract VODs just to get some footage of me drawing her volume 4 look. You don't understand. Like, you know when Zeus wants to act mad because Hera catches him while cheating and shit, and he starts causing thunderstorms and stuff and doing collateral damage? That was the kind of mad that I was doing. Because I know it was my fault. But I still had something to get mad about. That was me. That was me. But, right now, I'm drawing pants. And I think that I'm fairly certain that all of these are going to be pants looks. But they might flare out to look skirt-like. Because I really couldn't find any skirt looks that I liked that was gothic. Or like any dress looks that I liked that was gothic. It was all like straight. Or it was like very quote-unquote risque. So we're just gonna go for pants in all three. And that's okay. I really like, when it comes to styling somebody that you know, I like to do that. Because I do consider things like comfort zone and colors and stuff. And then I always ask, I'm like, hey, are you willing to consider this? Because, like, styling is fun. I like fashion. When I was little, I wanted to be a fashion designer. So, like, styling people that I know is sort of like my exercise with that. Honestly, fashion was sort of how I got into switching to a more like anime-esque style. Even though anime has like a variety of styles, but like having a more manga-esque style. Let's see, I'm gonna give her a Mandarin collar. But Actually, let me look at that blouse reference. It's better. This is giving vampire lesbian with a shorter vampire hunter GF. Good for her. I just gotta remember how shirts are done over. Did you know that when it comes to women and men's shirts, the buttons are in different directions? And the reason why is because when it came to rich women, they weren't expected to dress themselves. Because it's just like, you're rich. Why the hell are you dressing yourself? Like, are you crazy? Are you doing something that you don't have to do? And, ooh, not crotch. So they had the buttons in the directions that the servants were supposed to button it in. And that tradition sort of stayed. And like, even though I'm more of a like an animation and comics person now, like my interest in fashion, it definitely has not diminished. I just don't sew. But like, me becoming a concept artist was like my happy medium. That was my happy medium. But But, But being able to draw an outfit for, like, somebody that I know, it's very interesting because it does have its own limits because, you know, I'm drawing the outfit for another person, not for myself. So I have to, like, what's the word? Not limit my taste, but like put a leash on them, because the first priority is that person's comfort and wanting to create a look that they can see themselves wearing. I should have it hang a bit differently. Actually, no, it's going to be tight in this area because of the bustier. I just need to give her really puffy sleeves. I want to give her these really, really puffy sleeves. And these are some big ass bell sleeves. Sorta. They're sorta bells. Bustier. And then I might not show off the pants part. I might do this thing, like how this looks. Especially since the top of the legs are form-fitting anyway, so I think it'll be fine. Let's see. I need to exaggerate the shape more. Let's see. It's a sad ass song. Hold on. I would like to not be. Not this one. Love this song. I don't understand how much I love Dorohedoro. Like, Noi is best girl. We love Big Lady. Also, No Name's OPs and endings are just really great. Stepping out. Cause another changing over time. Check it. So make sure to add a bra cup. Looking closely at the details. In the dark. Spark of fire in the dark. This is something. And then I want to finish at least sketching the first outfit before I go, because I don't want to stream too long. I got other stuff to do, unfortunately. I got errands. Errands are half and half. Like, on one hand they could be simple, and then on another hand they could just be a bitch to execute and you just don't want to be bothered. Hmm. I probably should have redone the feet. Let's see. So let's fix the feet. Here we go, get it going. And then I have that line there so I know where the toes are at. Okay. I do not like drawing toes. No, I am not drawing individual toes. Because the feet are most likely going to be covered anyway. She's wearing boots in every look. Seam merge, select the layers. Okay. Let's see. What's next? What's next? What's next? The boots. The house down boots. I forgot what I was gonna say. I said a lot of things today. Let's see. There is. Oh yeah, the pink reminds me of something. Who's gonna watch the Barbie movie? I'm gonna watch Barbie and maybe Oppenheimer. Maybe. Like, I like Cillian Murphy. But I'm like, do I like Cillian Murphy enough to sit through that? Because I feel like Oppenheimer is going to be successful because of I want to watch it, but I got no one to go to the movies. Oh, that's unfortunate. So I'll just wait for online release. Yeah, that's fair. Cause I'm probably gonna see both, cause like both are kind of my speed. It's not that I'm really into historical dramas, cause this is like sort of a biopic of the man who invented the atom bomb and stuff. But I like Cillian Murphy, who's the guy playing as him, so I'm interested to see that performance. And then I love Barbie. I grew up with Barbie. Like, my mom would always give me black Barbies until I asked if I could like have different kinds, so I could act out stuff with me and my friends. And I had so many of the DVDs, because I had both Mermaidia and Fairytopia. I had Princess and the Pauper. I had the Island Princess. I had the Nutcracker in Swan Lake. I did not have the Barbie Diaries. I had a lot of Barbie stuff. I had a Barbie blanket set. How would I do this? Not to mention the marketing for the Barbie movie. Like, there's been a shoe brand collab. NYX, which is a drugstore makeup brand, so it's a lot more accessible. They did a collaboration with Barbie, and they have like makeup palettes and mirrors and stuff that look like the play toys. Xbox did a collab to have like 7 different Barbie themed controllers. And it's nice to see the solidarity between like Cillian actually went to go see the Barbie movie, and then Margot and I can't remember the name of the director. They both went to go see each other's movie. Now, something that would be peak if Margot Robbie dressed up as like a 1940s Barbie and Cillian dressed up as like a Ken, maybe still in the 1940s, to have that sort of weird crossover. Like, that would just be really cool to me. Cause I like both of them. I like Margot Robbie's iteration of Harley Quinn, and I like how she had more control over her character in like the later Suicide Squad movies and Birds of Prey. Even though I shit on Birds of Prey, I will shit on Birds of Prey because you don't understand. Like, I love Black Canary and Huntress because I grew up watching Batman the Brave and the Bold, and I love Cassandra Cain because I like the Bat family in general, and seeing how they were treated in that movie, it pissed me off. Like I would have rather they did a Gotham City Sirens if they wanted to like put such a focus on Harley. And then I also like the iteration of Suicide Squad. I like that Harley as a character had more agency and was given some humanity instead of just like Joker's crazy girlfriend, because she's more than that. But and then I also like Cillian Murphy's roles because he plays as Thomas Shelby in Peaky Blinders, and I just finished that show like literally last week, and I love his performance as Thomas Shelby. He's also the protagonist in 28 Days Later, which is that one zombie movie that sort of inspired the opening scene of The Walking Dead. Like in The Walking Dead, there's a scene where a character wakes up in a hospital in the middle of the zombie apocalypse after they were in a coma. Cause like that's technically a spoiler. Honestly, this show been out for years, nigga. It was Rick who woke up like that. Are you gonna watch the Suicide Squad anime? I do not know. I do not know. Like, I feel like it'll be interesting if it's sort of like Batman Samurai, where it really has nothing to do with the Batman lore. It's just like, this is like Batman Samurai was given how Japanese people, like back in the Revolutionary War, would depict there was like this meme of real historical Japanese paintings where they would look at the history of like George Washington and shit, and then do some sort of kabuki painting depicting the Revolutionary War, and it's like George Washington being hoisted by the spirit of America to fight back the British or something. I gotta find it now because I saw it on a Twitter post. And Batman Ninja. No, it was called Batman Ninja, not Batman Samurai. Even though they had a lot of samurai references in there. Maybe I was thinking of Afro Samurai. But Batman Ninja, it very much had that vibe. With the Suicide Squad thing, I really don't know. Do I want to be bothered? It's partially because of the visual design. Like, if it's something that I don't really like to look at, I'm probably not gonna watch it. And that's not to like shit on the work of the staff, but at the same time, it's just like, it's just not my cup of tea. Like, why does Joker look like he has teeth on top of his teeth? I'm concerned. I might consider it, like, just randomly watch it instead of like planning to watch it. I just do it on a whim, so I don't psych myself out of watching it at the last minute. There it is. Like, it was originally a Reddit post. I like the designs, but I watched the trailer. It's not what I thought it would be at all. Yeah, it was a Reddit post, but it was also reposted on but it was also reposted on Twitter. But I found a Reddit post that it came from. It's gonna give you an NSFW warning, but it's not the NSFW about the illustrations. It's just that the Reddit itself, because of the sort of strange subjects, like quote unquote strange subjects, like the subreddit is called Interesting as Fuck. But just like it's definitely different. And it's definitely not what you would expect from a typical Batman thing, and that's for better and for worse. I would just have to watch it on a whim instead of planning to watch it, cause like, no. It's very much out of my element. Let's see. Laces and lace. I'm interested to see how it would go. Remember what I said earlier about like DC and how it's really beating itself in the ass because like they wanted to do like some MCU type thing, but they didn't even want to build up the characters before doing that. Like, what makes the Avengers team up, like literally the first Avengers team up, so impactful was because we established different members before they had them to work together. And DC was just like, yeah, let's skip all of that. and act like we paid off something. Like, why would you do that? But like, I am of the firm belief that if they like gave their animated films a better budget, because usually whenever it comes to direct to DVD films, like films that you know was made to just be on the DVD, they always give it a smaller budget because DVD typically means a smaller audience. But like, if they actually gave their animated films some money and set them up for a theatrical release, I think that they would be a lot more successful than the live action movies, because their animated films get a lot better reception. Like, imagine if the Injustice, actually no, the Injustice movie was still bomb simply because Injustice is ass. Like, I did not like Injustice. Whether it's the comic book or the whether it's the comic book or the, I'm trying to think, or the video game, like, because I'm not a big fan of this trend of making Superman into a tyrant. Okay, these are all curly brushes. I need twist. Where the twist? No, I need more of a fuzzy looking one. Or no, aren't there lock brushes? Don't I have lock brushes? These are highlights. These are other hair brushes. These are curl outline. There they are, the lock outline. This is better. Okay, so and then I'm just mapping these out. That's not going to be her actual color. Like, I need a clearer picture. But no, I'm not a big fan of like this depiction of Superman being a tyrant, and I kind of hate how popular that view is. And I partially blame stuff like Invincible and The Boys and Watchmen. Even though Dr. Manhattan isn't even a tyrant, he's just apathetic. Like, okay, people use stuff like The Boys and Invincible as like justification for Superman being a tyrant, but like that really does not work when you know the basic fundamentals of what Superman is. Like, his whole thing is that because he lived life as a human and knew what it was like to be helpless, that's why he's compassionate enough to save the community and stuff. Somebody like Nolan, who was raised to shit on weakness and raised to conquer planets and all this other kind of stuff, he is not going to understand that perspective because it was essentially beaten out of him during his training. Somebody like Homelander, who is literally a commentary on the American military industrial process, and like American imperialism and stuff, he's definitely not gonna fucking understand that, because that whole thing is ass. And not to mention, like, he was raised to be a product as well, so he wasn't really given proper emotional development growing up. And that's okay. Like, I know that these characters are parodies of Superman, but, like, I know that Nolan isn't a commentary of Superman, because the creator of Invincible loves DC and Marvel. Like, he made, like, Mark's outfit is loosely inspired by Superman, and then his whole attitude and stuff is very much inspired by Superman and stuff. But he's also not Superman, Spider-Man, with all the quips and stuff. He's very much a Spider-Man archetype, and but his dynamic with Nolan and stuff is more of that of Superman. Like, Nolan is General Zod with that Kryptonian authoritarianism and shitting on the weak and all this other kind of stuff. Whereas Mark is the Superman, how his experiences on Earth has shaped his perspective of humanity, and that's why he's equipped to save humanity, because of his experiences and learning empathy and stuff. To contrast Nolan with his different background and stuff, right? But Dr. Manhattan is more so a story of a human who's granted godhood and loses his humanity and has to be shown the perspective of another person in order to gain that humanity back. And Homelander is just an asshole. I like all of those different iterations, but I don't like how those iterations are used to, like, characterize Superman, because, like, they really aren't. Like, Superman is the blueprint for the archetype, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's who he is, because, like, this is different source material, and these Invincible was made as a love letter to comics, whereas Watchmen and The Boys were made as a critique of the comic industry. They're not shitting on Superman himself. They're, like, shitting on the way that Superman is used as a character and just the issues within the industry. Like, how comic books have sort of... It only focuses on superheroes, at least in the Western industry. And, how that's tiring and all this other kind of stuff. Alan Moore actually has some regrets about writing The Watchmen, partially because of the way that he wrote women in there. Because, to be honest, Alan Moore, in, like, his earlier years of writing, like The Killing Joke and Watchmen and stuff, he had an issue of fridging, which is like that trope where you kill a loved one, usually a woman, in order to set up male character development, which is very unfortunate that such a thing happens. But he's voiced regrets with that, and he's improved his writing since then by giving his female characters more agency. But he also has regrets because of see. Let's try this one. But no, he also has regrets because of because, like, how everybody and their mom is pretty much being a Alan Moore clone. Like, Kick-Ass was a Alan Moore clone. And even though the movie was really great, the book was, like, very malicious. and so was The Boys. Like, the adaptation, the book adaptation of The Boys is a lot better than no, not the book adaptation. The Amazon adaptation of The Boys is a lot better than the book. Because if anybody's read The Boys comic, there's like, the best way that I could describe it is malicious bitching. And I say that because even though it's a critique of the comic industry, it's like done in such a malicious way. Like, the only thing that the author has to offer was that Herder, your favorite superhero, is like a racist degenerate who does some shady stuff on the back. And the way that he writes some of the characters, like Huey really does not have a lot of agency, and he's like constantly dragged around. Butcher is an asshole. I gotta go set up for my stream. Good luck with your pieces. Oh, have a good day at stream. I probably might just raid yours when I go. Or how long does setup take? It takes me 30 minutes. Or I'm gonna watch your stream later today. But see ya! But there's like a lot of issues with the Boys comic, good lord. But I like the Amazon version better because, like, even though it still has a lot of the dark content, it's a lot more optimistic. Like, instead of just saying we have a problem, it's just like, okay, we have a problem, but these problems can be solved. And even though there's definitely consequences to trying to address these problems, especially with that sort of motif of becoming a monster to defeat the monster, there's like the fact that the monster can be slain and that some people can be able to rebuild their lives after. They also do a lot of better job of like humanizing the villains, because like I like it when my villains feel like regular people with their own problems and stuff. Because like Homelander is still a jerk in the Amazon adaptation, but like he still feels like a person and you could feel for him sometimes. But another thing that I also like is that they humanized them without like taking away their bite, because like Homelander is still a threat. Like, that person is too much to... He's too much of a bad person to keep alive. He is that much of a threat. You feel sorry for him for 2 minutes, and then you cheer whenever somebody beats the snot out of him because you've seen the stuff that he's done to other people. As a means to, like, cope with that issue, you know? Like, I wish that we had more villains like that, because we've sort of changed the way that we depict villainhood and stuff. I think that a lot of it is due to, changing conditions. People are disillusioned with the criminal justice system, especially with the police. So they're willing to see criminals, quote unquote criminals, as more sympathetic and stuff, while acknowledging that material conditions can create quote unquote criminal behavior. But my problem is that there needs to be some, discretion when it comes to like having redeemable villains and stuff, because something that I'm seeing a little bit too often is people having folks in positions of power who abuse said power being redeemed, and then they always like find some way to demonize like the folks who are affected by it by showing them getting mad at that person being redeemed or something. And that's like, that's weird, and it's not okay. Like how DC's whole thing, how they've refused to kill villains even though these folks be causing like catastrophic Armageddons and stuff for the universe. And that's one of my issues with the Injustice thing, because like if Joker nuked Metropolis, I'm sorry, but they're gonna have to put him down. Like, I don't care about Batman's code about not killing people. Like, that dude is literally too dangerous to be kept alive. Like, it's one thing if they had Bruce to, like, examine. Like, Bruce does it because he has a value for life and stuff, and he tries to do other means, not just beating folks up, but like the Wayne Foundation, for example, how he's like preventing crime by handling issues like poverty and whatnot. But like, even a Bruce that values life, given how often Joker being alive causes more people to be hurt, you would think that he would put the safety of Gotham above that sort of code. And like, they handled that issue, but they kind of don't, because like, they don't have Bruce to change or collapse under that lack of change. Like, he dies, but it's not like as a result of his wait, does he die in Injustice? It's been so long. He dies in an ending for the video game where Damian like takes the mantle, and that's pretty much it. Honestly, I'm doing too much with this mesh. I'm gonna get a brush at some point. And I say at some point because I'm gonna end the stream. I like this outfit so far. Excuse the chaotic colors. This is how I differentiate different parts of the outfit. But thanks for coming to stream. Let me go to chat, actually. Thanks for coming to the stream. I appreciate it, all who showed up and stuff. But let's see. Tomorrow is the last day that I streamed this week, and I think I'm playing a song of Fire and Ice. I gotta keep remembering Fire and Ice instead of a song of Ice and Fire. Like, I feel like they did that naming on purpose, so Game of Thrones fans get confused and start playing the game. But thanks for all who came. I hope y'all have a good evening. Stay above water.